Oh yeah, that is a cute look. Hey guys, all right, this is really hot. I need to put that down. I'm gonna hurt myself with that. If you want to know how to make your hair look like the 80s and the 90s, I'm really not sure what decade this is, then watch this video because I'm gonna show you how to do it. I've tried all kinds of ways to get beach hair, and usually it's just kind of flat and there's a little bit of wave to it and I can't quite get it there. So I was in the market for trying out something new to give me a new look, and I will tell you guys that as a child of the 90s, I loved permed hair, okay? I know, y'all are dying, but I wish that would be a trend, because curly hair, all you had to do was like put mousse and product and scrunchy, remember scrunch spray? Like the Aussie scrunch spray? You put that in there and you just do this and your hair is good to go. And use a pick, remember a pick? You know, the little... and use a pick, and I was so good to go. Now the bangs were not good. Well, we would spray that right there, and you'd spray it so stiff. It was kind of this thing. I remember the boys in 8th grade would come around and like bounce on your bangs because they would just anyway, okay. Okay, so let me show you what you're gonna need. You don't have to order it. You could actually get it from Ulta because I saw it there just the other day. It was $39 at Ulta. This is by Bedhead. T-I-G-I, Massive Shine Wave Artist. That's what you're looking for. Now I know there's a couple of different ones. There is an S waver and it's got little anyway, it's not what you're looking for. You want this Wave Artist. That's what we're going for. Wave Artist. You want this Wave Artist is what you're gonna go. Why can't I talk? You're looking for this Massive Shine Wave Artist by Bedhead. I was looking for a coffee pot and this popped up and I'm like, ooh, you know, I've been looking for something to wave my hair, so let's try that. I think the secret to this is this ceramic coating that's on here. For some reason, my hair never will hold a curl. My hair never holds anything. Like when it doesn't, it just falls flat, and so it's very sad, but for some reason this thing will last. My hair will last for days and days and days. Not that I go that long with dirty nasty hair, but I'm thinking it would probably last a week if I actually went that long without showering, without washing it. I don't. I usually go about 3 days is all I can handle, but this is still going strong after 3 days. And I think it has to do with, well, maybe two things. The coating that's on this is awesome, but then it also heats up to, let's see what it says, 400 degrees. And then in parentheses it says, because I know you like it hot. And yeah, I'm thinking that makes all the difference. So it's super hot, it heats up fast, and it's got this coating on it to make it last forever. So if you like this look, then stay tuned. I'm going to teach you how to do that today, but you need to order this. This was $29 this morning when I checked on Amazon, and I'll put a link down below so y'all can find that easy. It was $10 more at Ulta. So, and that was about 2 weeks ago I saw it. It may be on sale now, but 2 weeks ago it was $39, and probably, let me turn mine off so I don't burn myself when I'm talking about it, because it is on. It is on. So if you'll stay tuned to the styling part, I'll show you some of the products that I use to kind of protect my hair from that 400-degree heat, because that is some serious heat. And when it would have to be to curl my hair, or I don't know that you call this curling, but to change my hair to make it 80s, and I like 80s and I like 90s. I'm not sure when this was popular, 80s, 90s. Well, you know, it wasn't really, it's not curls. Can y'all see that? It's just waves. It's waves. It's waves, and it lasts for days, and it's super volume, all the things that I like. You need a heat protectant spray or oil, or however you protect your hair, a serum. You need something because this thing is hot, really hot. So you definitely want to do that. The optional thing is some type of texture spray, and I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. And really, this is something new that I have found. I'm not even sure where I got this. I am sure that there are things like this at Sally's or maybe Ulta. I'm just gonna guess that I got this from Amazon. This, I think, came with something. Ow, it's hot. It's really hot. It's still hot. Okay, what it is, it's just a silicone barrier to put on your tabletop. Mine's dirty because I let a candle get too close to my curling iron and it melted it. Anyway, long story. So this thing, the only drawback to it It's so hot. It's so hot, you guys. Whew, it's hot. Okay, it has, these are the only little feet that it has, which are really not hardly anything at all. Can y'all see that? Those little black things, I mean, that is tiny. There's hardly any feet at all to it. So when you put that on your countertop, I mean, I don't know. I would be afraid to even put that on granite. But if you had granite, I guess you're okay. But it still makes me nervous. So I have this silicone thing that I put down on my countertop and then rested on that. But if you had one of those, like a hot pad or something that's out of silicone that you can get in the kitchen supply, I think that would work too. I don't know what that was. But you definitely want to protect your countertop because this thing is mean. And I haven't burned myself with it yet. Oh, but I think this would be like hospital. So that's what you need. That's it. Go order this and get started. Watch my video, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for how I did it. All right, so to get started, you're going to need, what's with all that? So I have really long, I don't know that y'all can see that, really long hair extensions in right now. And so this is something, if you have hair extensions, you have to have one of these little paddle brushes. This is a tangle-free brush that you're supposed to be able to brush your hair when it is wet or damp. You know, because normally that's really not good for your hair to do that, whether you have extensions or not. It's not good to brush your hair when it's wet. But with extensions, definitely, you don't want to let those just air dry without being brushed out. So you have to have one of these brushes. And they're just this special, these little bristles. They usually are paddle brushes. I got mine from Amazon. I can put a link to one similar or the same one that I got. So you definitely need one of these. Start with your hair brushed out, which is probably common knowledge, but you know, just in case. Start with it brushed. So step one, we've gotten taken care of. And then step two is you want a really good heat protectant. This one is by L'Oreal, and this is just a blow dry primer. I've got hair on it. This one is by L'Oreal, and it is a blow dry primer. You do not want to, I mean, I wouldn't think you would want to, wave your hair when it's damp. Mine is fully dry. I don't know what that would do if you put wet hair in this thing or damp hair. I know it would steam like crazy, but we're not going for that. So start with your hair completely dry, and then you can just prime it. And this stuff does tend to feel a little oily on my hair, so I don't want to put a ton. I'm just going to really treat the ends with it. There are so many different types of this. They pretty much do the same thing. I've just sprayed it on half of my makeup, so it's probably gonna make that slide off my face. The other thing that you'll need is, I like to use a texture spray after I'm done. This one's by Kenra, and it is level 6 texture dry texture spray. You don't use this beforehand, we'll use this afterwards once we've waved everything. This just kind of gives it a little more texture, if you didn't know that. Alright, and so I've already shown you the box. Here is my waver. Can I get the whole thing in the lens? This is my waver, and I have mine set all the way to high. My hair is extremely hard to curl, hard to wave, and so I'm doing the highest heat. Even though I have really kind of a fine texture hair, and it says that if you have fine texture to go with the lower heat settings, but from personal experience, from practice, from working with curling irons for years, I need the hottest setting. So mine is set on the hottest setting. And I have a couple of ponytail holders, and I'm just going to divide my hair up. You know how you would normally do. Just section it off. Nothing, you know, there's no rhyme or reason, just kind of get it. Oh yeah, that is a cute look. I'm just gonna section it just so that I can show y'all how this works. So I don't like to do a super thick section. You want to do about that thickness. If you do a really thin section, you're gonna get really good results right off the bat. So let me do that first and show you what I'm gonna do. And it just looks like this. You can actually do it this direction, or you could flip it over and do them this way. And I kind of do a mixture of both. I don't like to go right next to the scalp just because I'm terrified of melting my skin. But aside from that, I don't want it to stand straight out. I want it to lay down like this. So that's about as close. Ooh, did you see the smoke? That's about as close as I want to get to my hide. And I just hold it for a few seconds down my hair. And this does take a little while to do. I would say about 30 minutes. Maybe 40 minutes, depending on how much hair you have. I have these massive extensions, so my hair is super thick and super long, and it takes me about 30 minutes, I would say, 35 to be safe. Okay, so there again, I'm going a couple of inches down from the scalp, and I can feel that next to my cheek there, and then just hold it for a few seconds. Come on down, and I don't stretch it. I don't know if you noticed that when I move to the next section, I kind of push it back towards my scalp just so that it can kind of cool off that way. So watch me, I'm just going to push it back in, and I'm just doing that for the ones that I finished. These here, to let those just cool, so I'm not stretching those out. I'm not pulling, does that make any sense? I'm not pulling this down away from my face. I'm kind of going back that way just to let these dry, kind of curvy, kind of wavy. All right, so you see how that did? And I'm just gonna go over my entire head. And what I like to do is I'll do some where I'm holding it this way, and then I'll flip it and do it this way. So that way all of my waves are kind of going different directions. And when I curl my hair, that's kind of what I like to do too. I don't do everything the same direction. I mean, I feel like it gives it more texture and body that way. And so that is what my plan is. You'll see the smoke. It might take a little while to do your hair initially, but it will last for several days and it won't look beat up or, you know, like you tried to make do. What I can do is I'm gonna go ahead and do my whole hair because, I mean, I'm sure it's boring for y'all to watch me do this more than once. I'm going to go ahead and do my whole hair, and then I'm gonna stop when I get to the top section because there is something that I've learned that's really important about that. So hang on and let me finish my whole head. I'll speed through that so y'all can see me do it, and then I'll come back when I'm doing just this top section because that's important. You don't want to do that wrong. Okay? All right. Okay, so I've gotten pretty much all the underneath layers. It looks straight here because I haven't done the top layers. And what I wanted to tell y'all is when I first started playing with this little contraption, I tried to get this as close as I could. I'm just gonna skip. I know I've got some straight pieces under here, but I'm gonna do this top piece because this is what I wanted to show you. All right, so when I first did this, I tried to put this as close as I could get to the scalp, and then what happened was it made it stand out and it looked ridiculous. And so I thought, okay, I'm not gonna like this little contraption, this little machine. So if I start about, I don't know, is that 3 inches down? I start about 3 inches down on the scalp, I mean on the top layer. The rest of them don't really matter so much. I mean, it's okay if it kind of gives you volume and makes it stand out, because it's gonna stand out. It's gonna be big hair, which I love because I'm from Texas and you're supposed to. But anyway, that's the most important thing. Start a few inches down from the top so that it lays flat on this top layer. And then I hold mine about 10 seconds on each clamp down. So yeah, it does take a little while. I'm not counting because I'm talking to you guys, but there is what it does. But same kind of thing. I don't want to put this right here on my scalp. Can I hunch down so y'all can see? I don't want to put that right on my scalp like here. So I'm going to come up a little bit, a couple of inches, and then pull it backwards so that it lays that way. Let me make sure I've got that for at least 10 seconds because I really want that to go that direction. Okay, so that's the whole piece, and I'm going to show you, if you do a whole piece like this, this is probably too big, is what my point is. I'm not going to get real close to the scalp, but this is too thick, and most likely, well, it's not really too wide. It's all within the width of the waver, but it is really thick. So I don't know how well, I mean, the thinner pieces, the better. Especially on this top part where it's really gonna matter. You want that definition. I'm just gonna zip down it and show you, if you use too big of a piece, kind of what that does. And if you go too fast, you want to make sure. I have the best luck with about 8 to 10 seconds, but check it out. Do it, you know, do a test piece, do a little bit, because it is smoking and that freaks me out. But see how that is a little less waved than this side. This side has more of a definition. It's pretty thin, and that's gonna give you the best result. So now I'm gonna flip this over so I have a different wave pattern. Still down a few inches from the top. We don't want Pippi. Remember Pippi? Do y'all know who Pippi Longstocking is? Pippi Longstocking was a little red-headed, I wanna say pirate? I don't know, why am I saying pirate? But she had she had red hair and freckles, and somehow or another she had these braids that stuck straight out on the side of her head. And why am I saying pirate? Was she a pirate? But anyway, that's what makes me, when I first did it and my hair just kind of humped up and stood out, I thought, oh no, this is gonna have to go back. This is gonna have to be an Amazon return. And but anyway, I played with it a little bit more, and as long as I have this little bit of straightness here before the waves start, it lays more natural. It lays a little less Pippi Longstocking-ish, but you definitely don't want to just put this on the hottest setting and go for 10 seconds. Don't do that. Test it with your hair. You know your hair better than anybody else, and so if yours tends to curl really easily, then start with maybe because see, it's smoking. That freaks me out. Start with maybe a medium temperature and then just go for a few seconds and test it and see, okay, well, if that didn't work, you can either increase your temperature, go all the way, and then just do it for a second or two maybe. I don't know. Don't take my advice on that because I don't know your hair. So you do what works for your hair. Please don't melt your hair off. So now is when I'm gonna come in with my dry texture spray, and there are tons of these out there, so you also do what works for you and just kind of go in. This is gonna make your hair bigger. And there, ooh, that looks a little nuts. I look like a little 80s rock band or something. It looks like I'm wearing a wig. This will hold and last for days for me. Without any, I mean, I don't even have to pull it up in a bun and try to preserve it. It will last. I don't know what it is about this little thing, but it is awesome. It's amazing. So y'all, if you like this, if you will subscribe and like and hit the bell and all those things. So if you will hit the bell, I think is how you see, who's snoring? If you'll hit the bell if you'll hit the little bell beside the subscribe, if you'll hit that little bell icon, then supposedly it will let you know when we've got new stuff out. I don't know. I'm trying it, so we'll see what happens. All right, well, y'all have a great afternoon, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys. Bojo! Stop snoring.